the final episode of 2022 as we welcome in the new year. And my question for you is, why not you? Hey, I'm Amanda, and welcome to the Best Damn Coach podcast, where I will teach you how to coach yourself, how to coach your clients, and how to run your coaching business. The number one goal of this show, though, is to help you be the best damn coach you can be so your clients go out and tell the world about you. So, let's do the damn thing. The culminating episode of the year. I hope that you've all had an amazing holiday and are enjoying the downtime potentially, or family time, or the stillness, or the chaos. I don't know what it is for you. But I do know that as we get ready to start 2023, you might be in a place where you are feeling called to get support. And you may not have any idea what coaching one-to-one with someone looks like, or you might be a little scared, nervous. So I thought I would just share a little bit more about the work I do before we dive into the final episode of the year. I love supporting clients one-to-one. I don't know that it's something that I'll ever completely be able to let go of as my business grows, because I get so much joy in showing up one-to-one. But one-to-one coaching means that you and I dig into the goals and the dreams that you have for 2023. My sweet sauce is absolutely focusing on the strategy necessary to get you there, the tactics, the tools, all the businessy stuff, potentially, if you're wanting more support around business. And also, more importantly, what it's going to take in your mind to get you there and to continue to take action. So along the journey, as you take action, inevitably there will be stuff that bubbles up, beliefs, blocks that you have about your next steps. And I will be there to guide you all along the way. And if you are someone who is just in a place that you want to take your life to the next level, you crave more work-life balance, you crave happiness, you're like, I'm checking all these boxes and I just don't, there's something missing, or you are an entrepreneur that just needs help creating systems and beliefs in your life because you know there's just something stopping you from getting to that next place. These are the kinds of clients I love to work with, and I'm opening up my one-to-one spots for 2023 currently. So if you are curious and want to chat more about what coaching with me could look like, and if you are a great fit for our energies together, then the best way to do that is to head on over to my calendar at amanda-walker.com/let's chat, all one word, no apostrophe. So LETSCHAT. You'll have access to my calendar. We can hop on the phone and just see kind of what your vision is and how I can help lead you there. Welcome to the final episode of the BDC podcast as we close out 2022. Truthfully, I really had a hard time coming up with how do I want to end the year? If you're new, you may not know this. And if you've been listening to the podcast for the last 200 plus episodes, how we started is not where we're at currently. And that is magical for me. And also, this has been a big year of transition. As I pondered, what do my people need to hear right now? If I were listening to this podcast, what would I want to be drove towards? And honestly, it has nothing to do with strategy or tactics. I think that natural energy at this time of year, as we face that transition between Christmas to New Year, it's kind of introspective. It's kind of reflective, right? We are going inward. Maybe you're slowing down. Maybe you're not working like me. I recorded this episode, of course, before this week. This is actually a week I completely shut down business. My team and I do nothing. I encourage them to go enjoy themselves, spend the holidays, enjoy the downtime. And I joke, but I feel like the world kind of does that collectively. So many things shut down. I love that. I want that to be the case. And I hope that you create that space for yourself, even if you still are going into an office, etc. I used to tell myself the story that I couldn't do that running my own business. And I was like, hello, light bulb moment. I'm running the show. When I do this, it gives permission to others to do the same. And so what landed on me was this notion that actually I've been teaching in a lot of communities, a keynote speaking on, and I want to bring it to you, the listeners, because I think it's pretty powerful as well. And that is this idea of why not me? And you might have kind of this story sometimes that this life, this success, this money, this happiness, this whatever is for other people. And I often had that too. I remember so many times in my life where I was challenged with those beliefs and something just inside of me shifted. And I remember very clearly, I was a junior in high school and I was a basketball player, a competitive basketball player. I played varsity in all 4 years. I lived and breathed basketball. My greatest memories were playing my teammates. And at one point, kind of late in the season, I took a charge, which is when the offensive player runs into you defensively and they can't do that. And you get the call. And in doing that, as I fell, I actually fell back to catch my body weight and I broke my wrist. I was devastated because we were 6 weeks away from state playoffs. Our team was amazing. We had so much possibility moving forward. And I was a starting lineup. And I believe that I could help the team get further. So sadly, I had to have a cast, go through all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. I was devastated. When you're, a 16, 17-year-old kid, when your sport gets taken away from you, it feels like your whole world is crashing down. So I remember being kind of down in the dumps. It was kind of the first week I would still go to practice. I would watch. I would, shoot around with my other hand. I would run when I could. I would do everything that I thought I could in the moment. And then my coach walked up one day at the beginning of practice with like a book in his hand right towards me. And the book was actually the handbook, like for the rules and regulations of the Arizona Association of Basketball, like what we could and couldn't do. And he looked at me and he's like, Amanda, you can play. What are you talking about? My arm's broken. He's like, you can play. It says right here, as long as we protect everyone else's safety and we cushion it, bubble wrap it, if you will, then you can be on the court. The thing I didn't tell you is it was my shooting hand, my right hand, my dominant hand, the one I pretty much relied on for the majority of my confidence when it came to playing. So, of course, every natural objection comes up. No way, I can't do that. I'm not good enough. They'll take advantage of me. I'm going to mess it up for my teammates. All of this stuff bubbled to the surface for me. And then in that moment, I dug in and I pulled out this thought. Well, why not me? Why not me play with my not so dominant hand and crush it? Why not me still show up? Why not me be uncommon? Why not me believe in the possibility and the potential of me still creating impact for the team? And so I did. And I played and I rocked it, scored some game-winning free throws with my left hand. I remember being a little bit cocky too. And in that final game, before we moved on to the next round of state, I remember scoring and looking off into the audience to my right that had been booing me and like making fun of my cast and just watching them as I scored. Probably not my best move, but just being real. Well, I share this story because I think that these are the beliefs that hold us back so much. It's not for other people. That story's not for other people. The stories of success that you hear are for you too. These stories are examples, models for you to show what is possible. Why not you grow your business to 6 figures? Why not you find this balance between work and life? Why not you pitch to your dream podcast? Why not you write a book? Why not you coach 1,000 clients? Why not you hike the Grand Canyon? I don't know what it is, but there is something in there for you that you're probably telling yourself isn't for you. Like me, that opportunity came up many times. If I fast forward, I had many moments in my life. I remember very clearly multiple times Jess and I looking at each other when he was an officer and I was a teacher in my first 10 years of teaching. And we would look at our paychecks and all this work and energy and effort. And we're like, there has got to be more for us in life. I had no idea what it was going to be. And when I say more, right, more is air quotes because your more is different than my more, and that's okay. But the important aspect of this is the more we dig into that thought, why not me? The more we see that the stories of the success that surround us, they are just like us. They are the ones that have that same story, that success is for other people, or they might have the belief at some point that, nah, you have to have the connections. You have to, whatever that is, to bring that level of success. And all of that is not true. So I want to share a few things that I feel like have helped me adopt this why not me mindset, because why not me run a business that creates balance in my life, that gives me freedom? Why not me do all these things, start a podcast? Why not me speak on stage to thousands of people? why not me, right? All of these things, I didn't start out feeling and believing overnight that they were for me. I had to coach myself. And here's a couple ways that I've done that. The first step is to understand that success takes time. And often you've heard me share this message before on the podcast, but if you imagine a graph, right, we think that, and we were to graph on the y-axis results and the x-axis time, we think that as soon as I start, I will reap the benefits of the reward immediately. So if I put in a week's worth of work, I will find a client. If I put in a week's worth of work, I'll feel better. But the reality is that's not the reality. Is success takes time. And in the beginning, our efforts actually sometimes produce no feedback, produce no results. So people that don't have a why not me attitude, they quit, they start over. They're constantly looking for the next best solution, chasing squirrels, falling into the squirrel effect, chasing shiny objects. Right? When you adopt the why not me mentality, then you keep going because you're like, yeah, why not me? This is coming for me. I just got to stay consistent. It's when our expectations that progress is linear are not met by the reality of what actually happens when we start to take action and grow a business or go on some sort of transformational journey. It's that gap, which I call the land of the lost, where people tell them stories it's not working, when in actuality, they're just almost there. They're at this corner of possibility, but yet they turned around too soon and they never saw it coming. That moment where all of a sudden things just click and boom, it all aligns. So one of the things I've adopted that have helped me embrace this why not me mentality is this notion to always be at cause. I've recorded an entire episode, I encourage you to go back to listen, around this idea of cause and effect. And it's not this thing, cause leads to effect. It's actually, effect means when you are a victim in your life constantly. You blame outside reasons you're not seeing results. And though when you choose to do that, you produce inconsistent outcomes and you don't see the results you want to experience. When you choose to be at cause in your life, you take consistent radical ownership. You are a problem solver. And when you do that, results come your way. So to help me embrace this why not me attitude, my, if you will, like personal mantra, personal hashtag is always be at cause. No matter what happens, I'm asking myself, how can I problem solve? How can I take ownership of what I most desire? The other thing that helps me to maintain this why not me attitude is really this idea of motivation. To maintain a state of being towards motivated. Towards motivation means I see clearly into the future what I want. And regardless of the outcomes around me, regardless of maybe poor results that would happen, sometimes maybe we have 50 people sign up for a workshop and sometimes we have 5. Regardless of that, I am so clear on my mission, which is to help 1 million coaches serve 1,000 clients, that I just keep steadfast. And I find that so many people, and I coach my clients on this all the time, are away from motivated, which means they're only taking action when they're not having results, when they're feeling uncomfortable, when they're in the pain, right? So somebody that's away from motivated only works on their health when they don't feel good in their clothes and the scale says X number. Somebody in business that's away from motivated only takes action when their bank account empties. Right? Which both of those, any away from motivation strategy produces inconsistent results, because the moment we experience some sort of success, we take our foot off the gas and therefore end up at the bottom again. And it's this vicious cycle. And lastly, the thing that keeps that why not me experience, why not me mindset is you have to do what actually feels really good to you in your business and in your life. You have to think out of the box and do maybe what nobody else is doing to experience the results that nobody else is experiencing, right? Can you appeal in a new way? Do you need to work on your own self-belief a little bit more? Asking yourself what really feels good to you and think out of the box to create that next level of success. If you do what you've always done, then you will get the results you've always got. But why not you do and have all the things that you most desire? Last year, at the end of the year, I sent out this email newsletter that I wrote in like the wee hours of the morning in between Christmas and New Year's. And I got a lot of response from it via email. And it hit me that I didn't have the opportunity to share it with all of you. And I feel like this is just such a pertinent time to remind yourself of what you've experienced this year and what you're moving into. So I'm going to read it. As you reflect on your year, I want you to remember that you did all of this. You woke up after long nights and packed the kids' lunches and helped them get off to school. You showed up at work or in your business, even on days you wanted to stay under the covers with your head on the pillow. You had hard conversations, even though they were uncomfortable. You set boundaries, even when it felt horrible, because it was necessary. You fed your body. Maybe some days it wasn't with balance plates, but you kept getting back in the saddle. You quieted the noise of the world, even for little moments, and focused on what was happening right under your nose. You filled up your cup the best you could, even though you still craved more space. You changed jobs. Maybe you left a job, started your own business, grew your business, or even got clear on the next step that you know you have to take. You loved on your kids hard, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, or even a complete stranger. You cried, and it felt so cleansing and good. You paused, you sat in stillness for a moment, and it felt so damn good too. You lost something big or something small, but you're still moving forward. You made new friends or lost old friends and are taking away learnings from both. You started being kinder to yourself, even a smidgen, because you're starting to see that everything about your life comes from the love you have for yourself. You sat in the sun and it felt warm and it warmed your soul. You baked something in your kitchen and the smell took you back to your childhood and remembered just how far you've come. You did all of this. You did all of this, or at least some of these things, and it's helped you grow. These things have helped you change your life perspective to grow your confidence and your self-awareness. And taking these moments of reflection isn't always about the big celebrations we perceive our life is made up of. But this week's episode, I just want to remind you that as the year comes to a close, you have so much to celebrate. You have so many tiny steps you took this year that have helped shape you, and nobody did it but you. And I'm honored to be able to come to your ears every single week, multiple times of the week, and be on this journey with you. So thank you for showing up for yourself in 2022. And today this reminder is, why not you? Why not you do these things, take ownership, take action, and lean in 2023 to everything that you desire. And maybe find the support, the community, the self-coaching necessary for you to dig in and take that action. Because I believe that you have a gift, that you have greatness, and people are waiting for it. And I'm just wishing you an amazing end to 2022, celebrating the new year with you and welcoming in a strong 2023 together. I'm not sure what it is, but I have this very full feeling about 2023 that just feels right and good. And I'm going to choose that thought over and over to bring in that energy of the new year. We've got some amazing things lined up in 2023, amazing guests on the show. And we couldn't do any of that and would not show up for all of that if it wasn't for you, the feedback you provide, the things that you share. And I'm just excited to continue on this journey with you in 2023. So Happy New Year. Every week I put my heart and soul into this podcast to bring you value and to help you grow as a person and as a coach. And one of the ways, very simple ways you can return that favor is by leaving us a review. So if you haven't left us a review, head on over to Apple or Spotify, leave us a review, let us know how we're doing, let us know what content you love and which content pieces are really speaking to you now.